is up, RetroManiacs? Welcome to the Retro Card Chat Podcast. My name is Mike, and I am from Mike's Retro Trading Cards. And I got my dogs with me today, and they are ready to give it to you with a style that only dogs can. Joe Day and EP Eric Pahalik. How you doing, boys?
I saw that 18-wheeler coming from a mile away.
I don't know what you're talking about.
He's gonna call us dogs. I can sense it now. I could feel it in my bones.
You're my dogs.
What up, dog? I'm doing great. How are you doing, EP?
Also doing great.
Yeah. Woof woof. As they say.
I said woot woot.
So
I was excited.
Woot, woot.
I was very excited being called a dog. Yeah.
Very good. We're almost Steiners here. We're so dog.
Oh yeah, that's true. The dog-faced gremlins right here.
Yeah. All three of us. One of the nicer things people say about our appearance.
EP, for those of you who don't know, loves dogs, but is also allergic to dogs.
So some dogs, can be a little rough.
So there is a picture. I wish I could find it. We could put it up here of EP just being mauled by Mike's dogs and loving every second of it. Like I think one of your sheepdogs was on his shoulder.
Or his head or something.
Just across, like laying across. I probably have the photo somewhere. I should try to find it.
It was fantastic. But EP was in all his glory. Yeah. Woof woof, as they say.
Woof woof. How's it going, boys? What's new and exciting?
Been shipping out Star Trek cards because of that big collection. A couple of my regular buyers had picked some stuff up. Some stuff that they claimed, I'm like, should I have held that back for myself? It's a really cool card because I am getting a little bit of commission and trade. So I've been plucking some cards and putting them aside. But yeah, I sent a bunch off recently. I was texting you guys about this. I actually sold one of my Star Trek cards and it like threw me off. I was all discombobulated. I'm like, wait a minute, how do I do this? Do I take the money now? Do I keep this money? This is my card, but I don't usually. What
box is this even in? I don't even know.
I had to dig. I'm like, this isn't in this box. It might be in my eBay box, but yeah. So it's been fun, doing this, and I've already claimed some other stuff that he's going to send to me at some point soon. So yeah, but there's one. I will say there is one thing that's stressing me out. There is one buyer of mine who lives in the Is it American Samoa or American Samoa? Whichever one he lives in. So you can ship directly to him. It is a U.S. territory, so you don't have to do the customs thing, I don't believe, or I hope not. But anyway, so I shipped it to him, and it's been in Hawaii for like a week. And he goes, no, that's usually how it goes. It's going to be there for a while. Then they put them on a boat and they send them. And I'm like, it's stressing me out, man. This is not what I signed up for when I paid for priority mail. But should have been there like 4 days ago. And he's like, that's just how it is. Just, and he's actually moving. I guess American Samoa is really close to Australia. So he's moving there, but then in Australia, when he buys cards, I will have to fill out customs forms, which kind of bums me out. But again, I don't know. I'm like, dude, can you just get a PO box up here and I can send them there? That'd be way easier for me. But apparently that's not how he does things. So I'll send him to Dan the Card Man, and he can get them too. He can figure it out. But yeah,
sounds like you're living your best life, dude. Like
I very much enjoy it. Again, except for the stress of the cards not getting there exactly when the USPS or UPS told me they would be. So
sounds like you're almost selling as much as DC Sports sells on eBay.
Maybe a Star Trek cards. I don't know.
Yeah. We're going to talk about that in a little bit, so that'll be interesting. Okay. Got some fun numbers for you. But yeah, how's it going, AP?
I am doing better today than I have been for the previous week. I had a week at work. I'm going to crack open a brew here. I had a week at work. I've one of my coworkers on my team. I have four. My team is 4 people. We put out one newspaper every day and two newspapers on Wednesdays. I had one person on maternity leave and one person who was on vacation. So it was just 2 of us doing all of the work for the entire week. So it was a bit rough.
Is she really on maternity leave? So, have you confirmed that?
No, I mean, yes, she had the baby. She sent us a photo of the baby, unless she was like stole a baby and
then AI, which we'll be talking about, I think, later as well. Are you
could be AI?
It could be real or AI. So I don't know. You might want to check into that. Get medical records or something.
Yeah. So I didn't have any time to work on cards again. This has been going on for weeks here. So no time to work on cards. But one thing I have been monitoring is my ComC submission that I did, I want to talk about that a little bit because this is cool. I took some notes down. I'm going to read these off to you here quickly. So I submitted 202 cards sometime in September, maybe it was even August. I'm not sure. But on so far, 178 of 202 cards have been entered. They have until January 26th. That is today's the 11th, I think. No, today's the 12th. So they have 14 days to get all these in. I have not checked these since Sunday morning. So I'm not, if they haven't put any in Sunday during the day or Monday morning or whatever, I haven't seen them yet. But I'm just going to go through here quickly and read these off. The first order to get entered in was on October 10th, 7 items. Then the 11th there was 1 item, the 16th 6 items, and the 18th 4 items. So they set this like the standard where I was thinking, okay, well maybe they'll do like 5 or so cards, or 4 to 5 cards a week. Then October 23rd 1 item, October 24th 1 item, November 7th 1 item, November 12th 1 item. Then there were 2 weeks in between. November 26th 1 item, December 5th 1 item, and then on December 31st they went crazy with 3 items. I thought, okay, well now they're going to start ramping up.
They went crazy with 3.
Yeah, because they're going to start ramping up because they got to get this done by January 26th. Nothing since then. Nothing in January whatsoever, even though it's supposed to be the 26th. So, like, I'm like, I still love them. I still love their database, and I will continue to use them as long as they exist. But I'm concerned. I am concerned about trying to send in more cards. I don't know what to think about this. I would think that like if they're going to make their January 26th, they got to get moving. Like I hope they would at least have like half of them in by then. I don't think they're going to though. So
that's actually pretty normal though.
Is it?
That's
okay.
Yeah. A lot of times they show up right around your due date. So like in a huge bulk upload of them. So I wouldn't be too concerned yet. I'd be more concerned if you're waiting on a bulk shipping order to you, because that's my problem I have, because I made an order the 13th of December that was supposed to be shipped by the 14th of January. Then now they pushed it back to March.
Oh my gosh.
That's way fast.
That's January.
Still almost 500,000 cards in front of mine. I was tracking some numbers too. Over the last 6 days, they've only shipped out 46,000 cards in the bulk orders ahead of me, the cards that are to be shipped ahead of me. I gotta feel like that's not a lot for a place that big that has that many cards. I could be completely wrong, but like, I feel like I could get 1,000 cards out a day myself. Like, what, they have 3 guys working there or what?
I was gonna joke. They've got one guy named Jason who's doing everything.
Poor Jason.
He works 24 hours a day.
Right.
He does. He's on EP schedule. I think most of those bulk orders are probably getting pushed back because of the expedited shipping, right? Like people are probably seeing what
that and the eBay orders and stuff,
all the
like
eBay
that.
orders. And I had a CompC order this a couple years ago now. At this point, I had the same issue, if you remember. I mean, it was behind a ton of cars. I think it was like 2 months past when it was supposed to be due, and then there was like this moment where everything was flying through. It's like they hired a bunch of people, and the people they hired quit or something. I don't know. And we've been hearing the rumors have been circulating about, is CompC going to go bankrupt? Are they going to go away? I mean, if you have cards there or sending cards there, or you're waiting on cards that you paid for, man, I don't know. I would probably pay up for, depending on what you're getting. I would probably at this point start thinking about paying up for expedited shipping to make sure your cards get to you if you really, really want them, because this is not.
Well, I had like 300 cards, so I would have cost me a fortune.
Right. Yeah.
So there's just no way. But why is it, if there were so many cards ahead of me when I placed the order for it to be shipped, why didn't it have a more accurate estimate on the ship? If it would have said 3 months, I would have been like, oh, that sucks. But I wouldn't have been like, oh, okay, I'll have these in a month. I have cards coming for a football card stack sale that now won't be here until 2 months after the football season is over and my sale's over and done with. So I don't know what I'm gonna have to throw these in a box and wait until I do another football sale.
Do one in August, like at that point, right? Do one right before the season.
Oh, it just disappointing. I mean, so much of that website is disappointing. It's old. It feels so old. I love it. Don't get me wrong. I love the ability to go find all these cards and sell them there, buy them, but it just, I don't know. Like, what is the future for that service if they don't at least modernize it? If I type in a card set and I have a plural version with an S on it and I don't have the S, it doesn't show up. That is so freaking dumb. Like, they need to modernize. And they replied to me once when I said something about that on Twitter, and they said you can, I forget what it is, you could
put an asterisk or something. I remember.
Yeah, like, but how am I supposed to know the ones I have to put the asterisk for? You know?
Right.
If it's like Gridiron King or Gridiron Kings.
Or parallels, any sort of parallel sets are almost impossible to find.
Just so dumb. It should be able to find it, but
if you type in the last name Griffey, like, it should be able to get pretty close to know that Griffey is what you're trying to type. But if you miss a letter, it's not going to bring up anything. I'm like, what? So I mean, their search engine.
Yeah, eBay's better. eBay's better. There's still some issues with eBay with the search, but it's miles ahead of ComC when it comes to that. We've talked about that in the past too. Like, I think they have a mobile app that we were really disappointed in, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's just, there's a lot of stuff there but it does feel like there's like 5 people working there. Like one person entering cards, one person shipping, one IT person who just naps all day, I guess. I don't know. And it's just, I don't know what they're doing. One guy to take stuff to the post office. Like, what is going on here?
I took a screenshot too this week to potentially talk about today, and it was ComC saying, have your online card purchases sent to us. And I was like, oh, and I went to the site today before we started to record and tried to find, and there's nothing about it anywhere. It's not on any of the pictures on the header. I went to their blog page. There's no mention of it. I even typed it in on Google I could find nothing about it. So I have no idea what that is. I don't know if somebody put something up they weren't supposed to put up or what. But.
The IT guy woke up. Yeah, Jason woke up. It's almost like you want him to, like, I was at a card show a few months ago, and it was one of the bigger ones out in this area. And there was a ComC table, like someone sitting at a ComC table. And I've seen that before. EP, you ran into someone at our local show, or the Danville local show, somewhat recently. And I'm like, maybe you want to call all those people in to help pack and ship shit instead of having reps at card shows. Like, maybe reallocate resources a little bit better than what you're doing.
I feel like those were the people maybe that were let go. Like, what I was thinking about when they were talking about the people that were let go, I was thinking, like, if they have somebody at the Susquehanna Valley Mall show, I mean, obviously he covers a larger region than just there, but like, those are the kind of people I think that first they get cut first. And then those people have larger and larger regions to cover. Like, the people that are left have larger and larger regions to cover. And I think that's probably, when I heard about the cuts, I was like, that's probably, I'm not sure if that guy's going to be around, because that was probably one of the people.
Oh no, listening to your input issues and listening to Mike's output issues, as it were, it feels like those aren't the people that got fired. It feels like the people inputting and
nobody left
would have been the ones.
No, well, I still have a whole bunch to send, and I looked through the box the other night, and I'm like, I have to send these. It's mostly non-sports, and I don't know what to do with it, so I'm not listing them all on eBay. I know that. I want to remind everybody we're going to do a Q&A video, so please give us some questions in the comments. We got some good ones last week, but we want to get a couple more. Maybe we'll do 2 episodes if you give us enough. So think of some question. Type that out there. Look how fast I'm typing there. Do that. Type it out. Let us know in the comments. Anything. Ask me my dog's name. I don't care.
Even questions about the Borg and how with Picard season 3. Oh no. Okay.
We already have one of those. I don't even know what those words
mean. That was Seatown.
I know who it was.
Yeah. Seatown came in.
All right. Well, let's get into it. Have a little bit of a story here today about AI. You know, AI is going to change our world. It's going to solve all the world's problems, clearly, right? It's going to make everybody healthy, make everybody rich. I can't wait until the day gets here, because I'm not rich. Probably not healthy either. But hey, I digress. But there are some issues with AI, and I dropped my sheet, but I'll tell you about them after I pick it back up. I really need this guideline here. There are some ways that people, of course, want to use AI for bad. Yes.
No.
Yes.
Absolutely
I know,
not.
Hard to believe that there are actually people and people in our hobby that want to use AI not for the betterment of the hobby, not for the betterment of card collectors everywhere, but to scam people.
I don't know if I can believe any of this.
There are some things going around. I saw Neo had a video about this too, about people who are getting cards and slabs, having AI generate cracks and stuff on the slabs to make it look like it was damaged so they can get a refund. And they're doing this with lower price cards. So hopefully the seller doesn't want it back. They just give it to them and give them the refund. Some of these look pretty convincing. Some of them look a little less so, but still, it works. And if you know what you're doing and take a little time, it's really hard to distinguish between a slab that's really cracked and one that was generated with AI. And of course, there are people that are scamming people out of cards because of this. So be aware of that. I also want to point out too, before we start to talk about this, I saw somebody on Twitter say, make this card a refractor. And it made it look like a refractor. Now it was a LeBron James Topps rookie. So like his Topps Chrome is a different card than the Topps. But if you take a Topps Chrome card and you say, Grok, make this a refractor, it does a really good job. Now, I was talking to Grok and I was telling him, you really need to put refractor because he spelled it RIFRACTOR. And I was trying to work the algorithm a little bit there to get him to think he has to put that on every card, but it probably won't work. But I took a refractor that I had, and I'll put the picture up here if I remember. I told Grok to make this look like it isn't a refractor. And it looks like it's not a refractor. So if I buy a card from somebody on eBay that's a refractor, and then I get this card, I take a picture of it, I tell AI to make it not look like a refractor, then I file a case on eBay saying this person sent me the wrong card. It's not the refractor. It was supposed to be a refractor. It looks perfect, like a regular card. There's a whole world of trouble that's going to come out of this, and it's going to be lower dollar stuff that doesn't get the scrutiny, stuff that people might just refund them and not want the card back. It's just, I can't believe that people would use this for bad, Joe Day.
I know, it's shocking that people are just fucking assholes.
Shocking.
Huh? Yeah, like this is going to be interesting for like bigger sellers, right? Like someone like DC Sports Cards, someone like Propstein, who welcome back to eBay, I guess. Like it'll be interesting with those cards because for them it's more of a nuisance, right? I don't want to deal with this nuisance. Just refund them. Ultimately, though, it comes down to now, depending if like a slab is cracked. So if I was a seller and I sold something, and they said, oh, the slab must have gotten cracked in shipping. Well, who eventually ends up paying for that? The USPS, right? Because you probably had ground advantage or priority. You get $100 of free insurance with those. So the USPS is going to be paying out some of these claims. The buyer is just going to refund it, go through the insurance claim process, get their money back. Or depending if it's low dollar, the easiest place to get money back from is eBay standard envelope. If it's under $20, they refund you like that. And I've had legitimate ones before AI. I've had legitimate ones where people said, I'll send you the card back. But, it was like it was a little bit of a thicker jersey card well before I knew not to do this. And it snapped in the going through the machine. So you have all these different lower dollar amounts where USPS, eBay standard shipping, UPS are going to have to pay out these claims. That's a whole other layer to this. I don't know if anyone else has talked about. And on the side of being able to turn cards into refractors, why stop there? People are going to be turning cards into autograph cards. People are going to be turning cards into the 80 different parallels. Grok has enough information from the algorithm to pull that information in and pretty much do anything with a card. So we say it all the time. This one, I don't know the answer to, but we say it all the time, be a vigilant buyer, but now you have to be a vigilant seller as well. And I think those big eBay sellers are going to be hurt the most from it because, again, they're just going to, okay, this is a nuisance. I don't want to deal with it. Just refund them the $50 or whatever it was. I had a card that legitimately was damaged when I bought it from DC Sports Card, and they paid it right away. And I sent the card back, obviously, but like in some cases, it was like a $300 card, but in some cases, they don't even care about that. They don't even need you to send the card back or want you to send the card back because it costs them shipping. They have to pay for the shipping to get it back.
Yeah,
so
they don't want to spend
price,
$5 on or $6 on a $10 card. Yeah,
that's damaged, right? Exactly. So yeah, this opens up a whole can of worms, and of course, the sleaziest side of the hobby will find a way to use this and screw actual people who are trying to use this hobby to maybe make a few bucks, maybe upgrade their PCs, maybe do something fun like we do, and they're going to ruin it because, of course, they are.
Great points, Joe. I just have two things. The first one, AI learns by what we teach it, right? Of course, the hobby is teaching it how to scam. You know what I mean? Like, of course, it's just a total BS. And then on the second point, on the crack slab thing and the refunds, I saw a lot of low end stuff. Like since I sell stuff that they're not going to do this with, but the stuff that I do sell for a little bit higher than that, a lot of it is graded stuff. You know, anything that I've graded, I put on eBay and I take with me to the card shows. And so like this is a very much a possibility for me. But if this were to happen, there is no doubt in my mind now that I will pay to have them ship that back to me just because fuck these bitches.
But the problem, I appreciate you following my F-bomb up with an F-bomb. The problem is, though, EP, if you say, send me that card back, what's going to stop them from just cracking the case? Like, busting up the case?
Listen, if they
at least they don't keep it.
They would have to crack it in exactly the way it's cracked in the photo. And I would make sure that when I present my case to eBay, I present all the photos and all the details of everything. And just to
they won't send it back. They won't.
Right. They won't send it back. Right.
Yeah. That's if they get caught. If they have to send it back, they just won't send it back. But yeah, I mean, it just but what do you do if you sell a $5 refractor and somebody takes the refractor off of it with AI and says, you sent me a base card? You're going to know. That's the thing, though. As a seller, you have to say, okay, send me that card back.
Yes.
That's the 100%. Only way to do it because you're going to know. But maybe if, like, you're going to know, I'm going to know. But if you're selling, 10,000 cards on eBay, you might not. Well, maybe I did pick the wrong one out.
Right.
And then they got a free card. And it's going to be the lower sellers like us that are impacted because it doesn't go through eBay authenticity guarantee. Not going to be like really looked at. It's just always going to be
it's a can of worms. It's a can of worms. Everything in this hobby ends up being like this can of worms that it's like, holy, you just roll your eyes at it and be like, okay, how it's not the crazy thing is with like stuff like AI, it's never like, oh, how can this improve the hobby? Won't this be great to improve the hobby? The first thing our minds always go to, because we've been in this hobby long enough, is, oh, great. How's this going to help people scam the hobby? Mm-hmm. The CT scanning story, we've been talking about this, shout out to Ziggy. He was the first one to bring it up, but we've been talking about this for years. And at the very beginning of it, my first thought was, it's great to authenticate something like, again, the Golden Touch. It was an OG iPhone, right? The first generation iPhone, making sure it's actually in there. But then your mind goes to, oh, great. Now we're going to be able to use this to scam people. And that's just how it is. And that's how this hobby has been since well before we've been in it, guys. People have been trying to scam people in this hobby since way before even Mike's shop was open, right? They're trimming Honus Wagner cards, and they're trying to print off fake cards left and right. So yeah, it's just any new advancement. It feels like the next thing someone thinks is, oh, isn't this advancement cool? How can we scam people out of their money with it?
I think there's a really good solution, a really easy solution, and that is to expand the eBay authenticity guarantee to include cards of $5 or more. That they got plenty of people to take care of it, and they do a good job of making sure that all the cards are. Yeah, they do a really good job making sure all the cards are are in good shape and everything. So I think
there's been zero issues with the eBay authentication program since PSA.
They should do it on every card.
Every card.
Every card doesn't even have to be $5. I think
sarcasm. Just put that across for those that stumble across and don't get our sense of humor. Just sarcasm.
Well, I have some other little tidbits here about AI. We talked last week about PSA and grading, and we kind of came to the conclusion that they have to be using AI, or they're at very least they're giving AI a lot of information to be trained on about how PSA grades. Collect had an article about the future of AI, just had some comments from different people. Trust me, our version of this is way better. Don't waste your time reading that article. It's not very good. But Nat Turner was one of the people who commented about how he sees AI affecting the hobby. And he had an interesting little tidbit. He said that AI will be able to tell collectors if a card is worth grading. And that got me to thinking, would PSA expand their business to not only grading your card, but also creating an app that you could take a picture of your card and it could tell you whether or not you should even send it in to grade in the first place? Subscription model, you get people paying month to month, not giving them a grade, but saying, yeah, this has a potential for a 10.
Right.
That I feel like somebody like him saying something like that is not an accident.
So interestingly, I wish I would have screen capped and sent it to you guys. Interestingly, I did see someone on Twitter ask Rock, what would this card grade?
Using PSA's grading standards. Yeah, I saw that too.
And like it, I don't know if there is a segment of the hobby that would feel it would feel better if I had PSA look at this instead of just asking Grok. But it's the same information. It would be the absolute same information. AI is AI, right? So like it probably would be the same information. Just do it free on Twitter. Do you need to have a blue check mark to use Grok? I've never tried to use Grok before.
I haven't either.
I
Maybe
feel like it's a paid sir. I feel like you have to have the blue check mark.
Yeah.
But like, so if you're already paying for the blue check mark and you can use Grok, I mean, I would just do that. But that being said, there are people out there who would trust PSA to do it through like an official app.
Yeah,
more than they would trust doing it on Twitter.
But their AI would be trained on their actual graders and how they're grading cards. More so, Grok is just pulling information from Twitter and stuff.
So if you send it to their PSA subscriptions AI at 12:22 p.m., it'll give you one grade or one pre-grade, and then at 12:23 it'll give you a completely different one because all it's doing is spinning the wheel like
PSA. It's a 6 now, an hour later it's a 10.
Right. But yes, absolutely, it's a way to make money, Mike. Right? This would be a way to make money for
make
PSA.
a lot of money doing that.
Right? Because
tell me that people don't want an app that they could look at and go, "Is this worth sending in?" Absolutely, people would pay $15-$20 a month for that.
And then my concern would be, not that PSA would give a shit, but my concern would be, they told me to send this in, and they send it in, it comes back a 7. Like people start losing their minds real quick, and then Nat Turner's going to have to like start responding to people on Twitter with some sassy comments. But yeah, that could be the problem. That's where it becomes.
Well, you linked it together so you know what it said. So your grader now knows he has to grade it either an 8 or 9. It makes less work for the grader because the pre-grade said, this should be an 8 or a 9.
Grader. Do you even need a grader? You just pull
you say there's a grader, right? And then use AI to go, okay, we'll give it a 9. They'll like give it different percentages. We'll give like 50% 8s and 50% 9s.
Danger.
We got it worked out.
Danger.
That was going to be my point. But I was going to take it a little bit scummier way. in the fact that like we see about the PSA authenticity guarantee people who are not sending cards through because they're damaged or whatever, they're not near mint, all that sort of stuff. I mean, if you don't use the PSA grading app, you're gonna be more likely to get better grades. So just this card came through the PSA grading app, and I could see them totally doing something like that, where the people that use the app get better grades than the people who don't use the app. And I could totally see that happening.
Oh, absolutely.
Yep.
And also, Nat also said, and it's just a little blurb for him, but I got a lot of information out of this. At least I feel I did. It was talking about how, the data coming together really helps to solve questions that you have. And then he said, we are using it more and more at PSA/collectors. So
how?
He didn't say how.
Of course he did.
But of course they're using it. They have to be using this for grading. They have to be. Has to be. I don't.
I think
they were Go ahead.
I was going to say, I think we talked about this. Was it last week or 2 weeks ago or whatever?
Week.
Like how would they use AI to get rid of human graders? That's how. I mean, absolutely. That was my take last week when we were talking about this. There's no way they wouldn't use this if, again, it can save you money. Sure, there's the upfront cost of building the model and making sure that it's pulling in all the information from PSA from decades of actual human graders. And so that upfront cost, sure, will be high. But guess what? AI doesn't need. Doesn't need healthcare. Doesn't need vacation time. Doesn't need sick days. Doesn't need maternity leave. Doesn't need any of that stuff. So they can get rid of the human element of grading. And I think I used the example of Detroit back in the 20s when they were building cars. And then all of a sudden it became automated and humans lost their job. That's how people lose their job. That's how people are unemployed now. Not some of these other bullshit reasons. It's because of automation, AI, and all that other stuff that's happened over years of technological advancement.
Yeah, I feel like what probably happened was they bought bought back at. They're going to leave one human grader there. Use all AI at their boutique places. Pull everybody else up to the mothership and use them for graders and for their authenticating cards.
Yeah, I don't think it's a coincidence too that few years back they started giving you the high resolution scans with all that. Like, come on, this put 2 and 2 together. So so that's where we're at with AI. I did think it was funny the head of eBay talked about AI and how we're using it to help people write their descriptions. It's like, oh my God, but it's so bad.
They're so bad. That is like version 1.0 AI. The descriptions on eBay are so wildly cringy that when I see one written, I'm like, move it on. I'm not buying from this person. They clearly don't know what they're talking about.
Well, speaking of wildly cringy, Chris Sewall had a video out. No,
not him.
Chris is not wildly whatever I just said there. But yes, this was a video about a collector, I believe said that had been out of the hobby and got back into it, correct?
Yep.
They were in the hobby with their father, I believe.
Yep. Okay. In the 1980s-ish.
And then just got back into it and started buying some cards. He had sold some cards to Chris. Chris goes over on the video a couple times and what he bought from him, how much he paid for it and stuff. But the whole premise of the video was that this person who just got back into the hobby over the course of a year spent $20,000 to $25,000 on ripping packs and buying into breaks, and his hits that he pulled out of it amounted to a grand total of about $3,000. He had sold, a couple batches. Chris told the story. He had okay stuff in the first one, okay in the second one. Then they got worse, and then they got worse. And then he finally got not Chris, but the person collecting got disgusted and was done with things and sold him his good cards, and they weren't really even that good. There wasn't much in there for him to sell. I'm not shocked by getting $3,000 value out of 20.
I was going to congratulate the guy. That sounds like great
that is
ROI
pretty good,
considering
But like, this was a great video by Baseball Card Collector Investor Dealer. You should check this one out because this is happening to a lot of people, and it's so easy for people to get hooked. We talk all the time about this. You see, oh, this person's pulling that, and oh, look what this guy pulled here, and oh, look, I'm going to do that. I'm going to get these cards. But the only problem is when you open, you don't get those cards. And it's just all of this intertwined together, the social media, the marketing of the card companies, the marketing of the breakers, the marketing of people selling cards. They want to make you believe that you can pull this, but you're not gonna. They leave out the part that says you can pull this, but you're probably not going to. Probably have a better chance of getting hit by lightning while riding a hippopotamus. I don't know. It's just one of those things. And
as you do,
this is just one story of many that we've seen. But this was a great video, and I really liked how he handled it and how he did the financial breakdown. Make sure you go watch the video because it's really good.
I as an aside, I love the videos. I love probably 98% of his videos. I love the ones where he breaks down collections that he buys is so informative that if you ever want to get into that world, buying collections and reselling them, watch those videos. They're so.
I should start doing those videos.
You should.
You would like one of my videos for a change.
I'd have to watch it, but anyway, so. This video, I was actually going to make this like hot take where I'm like, it's actually Chris's fault that this guy is in the financial peril that he's in because he gave him so much money on that first collection because it was the stuff he had from his dad. So it was like the better stuff, like older cards, vintage cards, that actually had some value. So this guy's like, oh, maybe all cards are like this. And he went out and did that because Chris he's a strong buyer too. Like he makes sure people don't get screwed over when he buys their collection. So maybe it's Chris Sewell's fault this guy spent $25,000 on breaks because he was trying to chase his sales that he had that first time around. But kidding aside, I mean, this is something we talk about a lot, and it's really unfortunate when you see when those numbers, and I was kind of joking for effect a little bit, but to be fair, getting that percentage back out of his breaks and rips that he got is actually pretty consistent. Like that field, I'll watch Silver Sport all the time, and they get about that percentage back. Ed gets about that percentage back on a lot of the stuff he breaks. He'll have a hit here and there, but he opens up a lot of stuff as well. So to buy into breaks where maybe you get absolutely nothing is a complete possibility as well. And then buying boxes to rip, if you get 20% return,
you're probably
if you can sell every card, even the base cards, if you get like 20 to 25%, you're probably in the high level, of return for some of those products. So you just have to be careful out there. Excuse me. And then you get into, I know, I'm getting off a Clem.
Doesn't happen often.
It doesn't. But you get caught up into those, and maybe he did hit a big card that first time, and then all of a sudden he's like, "Oh, I can hit a big card every time." And then obviously it's like going to the casino. It's like getting that first big hit on a slot machine. You're like, "Oh, I'll never not get a big hit on this slot machine," and then all of a sudden you're broke. So yeah, it's really a shame. And I don't want to say luckily because financially people are across the board completely different. $25,000. It could be worse. It could have been. And I've known people, or I've heard of people, and I've seen stories of people who have lost way more than 25,000. It's not a small amount for sure, but man, if he would have kept going, if he would have had that moment, and I think Chris along the way was trying to tell him to stop.
He was trying to be a therapist a couple times.
Yeah. And it's like, if you don't have that moment, or if you have a scuzzy card person, you don't have Chris Sewell. If you have a scuzzy card person who's giving you the same amount of money, but pushing you, right?
People in the hobby, right?
Like he could have kept going. It could have been way worse than $25,000.
Yeah. To your first point, Joe. Whenever he puts the word with financials in one of his titles, Chris Sewell, like that's a must watch, right? Because they're always all those videos are great. I don't know if I've seen one that I didn't like or didn't, didn't really enjoy. I feel like I'm not going to spoil the video. You should definitely go watch it. I don't want to give all the details, but first off, the photos that Chris asked that the guy asked not to use any of the photos of his cards, but the cards that Chris used to illustrate stuff were representative of those cards. And if you look at the cards that he got from that first sale, like, he probably thinks now, why didn't I sell those? Why didn't I keep those? Because they're worth more than what he ended up getting. And so that was that was the level setting. The excuse me.
He's getting choked up as well.
I am.
No, for both of us.
I'm about ready to cry.
it is the punchline to the kind of the video. But like, Chris bought these cards for like $3,000 from him, but himself only made $5,000. So you think about, that is the essentially trying to probably sell to like the end user essentially, but like $25,000 turned into $5,000 at the end of the line there. Like that, it's just crazy to think about. I can't imagine.
But I can't fathom, more realistic than.
Oh yeah, 100%. That's I can't fathom spending $25,000 on cards myself. Like that amount of money is just outrageous to me. And so normally it's a smaller scale because people don't spend that much. But this is it scaled up. If you're only spending $1,000 a year on cards, like, you're probably still getting that same percentage, right? Like it's scary. It's stupid.
Yeah, old guy moment here. When we opened cards in the 90s, well, the big thing that's changed about the hobby are the hits that they're putting in, these like really super rare things. If you really think about it, they are really, really overinflating the value of and the price of wax. It shouldn't be worth it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. People are like, yeah, but you can pull a card that's worth, $200,000. This is life-changing money. Yeah, but one person is going to pull it out of all this stuff. It's not really worth it for everybody else who isn't. And the hobby does a really good job of making people think that, well, you could be the one, like just like any other gambling app or casino out there. This is what it is. But like, the price is just, they're not in line with what you can pull. The price of the stuff has gone up so much, and you more than not get nothing out of it. You don't even get those mid-good hits, yet alone the one really, really high one that, you have a 1 in 20 million chance of getting. The hobby, it needs a little bit of a reset with that stuff. I wish we could go back to not every product having to have the lottery ticket, but we're never going to. I realize that, but everything is a lottery. It's just taking your chance to hit that one prize that you're not gonna get.
It's worse than the lottery, Mike, and I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
The Mega Millions cost $1, $2, whatever, right, to get into it, and you have the same exact odds as someone else who bought 1,000.
Imagine if they raised the price of the lottery ticket when
$1,000
when the prize value went up. Like, that's what the hobby is. They're right. Oh, okay, well, you can get this, but you have to pay this. Like,
right?
How ridiculous that is.
Yeah. So people, and we make the comparison all the time about it being a lottery, about it being gambling, but really, again, you can take a shot at life-changing money with the Mega Millions, and it's $1 or whatever it costs. The other thing is to your point about, the card companies, Panini, but now to an even like on steroids sense, Fanatics, making these $1,000 products where you can pull a $100,000, $200,000 card. Probably not, most likely not.
Definitely.
But then you have companies like Rittenhouse and Upper Deck who, their products are $200. The biggest hit in that Game of Thrones case that we opened up, the biggest hit you could possibly get was what's her name? Amelia Clark. Am I getting that name right?
Yep.
Hers is the most valuable card, even more than the Pedro. Yep. And I want to say they go for like $3,000. That's the big hit, a $3,000 card. That's how they can afford to make boxes $200 or less. Like, these boxes were what, $125, $130. I charge $130 shipped to do them for the channel. That's the difference, because you're not chasing $100,000 card. You're chasing maybe a $3,000 card. And that's the hobby that I want to be in. I don't want to be in the hobby where you're chasing a $250,000 card, but you have to put $1,000 out there. That is so unsustainable, not just for the individual, but for the hobby as a whole. It's just absolutely unsustainable. There's got to come a reckoning at some point. Who knows when that will be, but man, it is discouraging to see, and then you have this guy, that's why I'm saying only 25,000. When we're talking about the price of wax, only 25,000 may seem ridiculous, but think about it. That's only boxes. 25 boxes of Prism on a bad year of Prism, by the way. Bad is in bad draft class, right? That's only 25 boxes of cards. That's 2 cases of cards, not even. Can you imagine that? That's crazy.
Yeah, I just want to make sure to clarify something that Joe said, and I mean, he said it correctly, but I want to make sure that everybody heard it. He said if you buy 1 ticket or 1,000 lottery tickets, your odds are still, your odds go from probably 0.001% to 0.002%.
It's statistically insignificant.
Right, exactly. So don't spend your card money on 1,000 lottery tickets. That's a bad call. The prices of boxes are predatory, in my opinion. Yes, they have more hits in there, but I think that the prices have gone up exponentially compared to what you get out of a box. Like Mike said, we were buying boxes for $50 or $100 back in the day, and we got a $10 card, $20 card. That's awesome. We enjoyed that, because I mean, this is a card was yes, it didn't get your money back, but it's actually made it worth something at $100 price point.
But you get the joy of building the base set as well, EP, which no one does nowadays either. Right. But now if you buy $1,000 box and your best hit is a two $20 cards or a $20 card and a $10 card, like that just feels like so gross and depressing. Like, oh my God, I can't believe so many people are still buying into breaks and buying, opening stuff just because of how bad, like when at least for me, when I get a box like that, or even just a blaster, like that mega box of the Top Chrome basketball that I got, like just so deflating. I can't believe like more people in the hobby aren't either depressed or just getting out of here like this guy did in Chris's video. Yeah.
And like an example of something companies could do is what Upper Deck is doing with their hockey cards. I like this idea. We all know that Fnatic says the MLB debut patch. We like the cards, but really, none of us are ever going to pull it. None of you are ever going to pull it. You're not going to pull those. And I think we talked about this at time, maybe not specifically about the MLB debut patch, but Upper Deck announced that they are doing NHL debut game jersey cards. The difference is these are not one card. It's not a patch. They're actually taking the full jersey that the player wears in his first game, and they're going to cut it up and make multiple cards out of that. They're going to have 3 different versions. They're going to have regular game jersey cards. They're going to have the black 1-of-1, and they're going to have autograph versions. They're also going to have it photo matched on the card. So the picture on the card is going to be the player in the game where he was wearing that jersey, which is just freaking fantastic, isn't it? They're also going to have a COA that you can get that says the game and the date for the player that you have the card of. We've talked about it. The MLB debut patches are great for what they are. They're the rookie card, but we talked about it with the other stuff they're doing. Now they're doing the award winners, and they're doing the wrestling one, and everything's a 1-of-1. What about us? Upper Deck is doing something that more than one person gets to enjoy, getting something really cool from a player they might like from their very first game. This is kind of cool too, because if they can go back in time and find jerseys of certain players from their game, that allows them to maybe go back and do this historically too, which is a fantastic idea. But I mean, I don't buy hockey cards, but I love this. I love that it's more inclusive, that yes, it's still going to be expensive, but Upper Deck hockey cards are nowhere near what you're paying for top stuff. And this is a cool idea. I like that more people can enjoy the card and maybe get enjoyment out of collecting something of a player they want, instead of just one person always getting the card.
I'll tell you what, Upper Deck created the jersey card. They've been innovating it all along the way, and here we are. They took an idea that we thought was very good. Even I, Mr. Anti-Fanatics, loved this idea when it first came out, but they're taking it to the next level. And I'll tell you what, no one is talking about the importance of knowing the date the jerseys came from. No one's talking about this.
Nobody.
We have for years. I wish more people would be talking about. We've been talking about this for years. The matching the date of the jersey with the date of the game is just a game changer. Upper Deck did it in the past. They're doing it now. Fantastic. And I love the levels of this. So obviously the patch, the whatever the considered the debut patch, should be the most valuable card. It absolutely should be. But only one person can have that, like you said, Mike. So now we've got different levels. Oh, you have a piece of the jersey, but guess what? We're going to have the player autograph this. Oh, you can't afford that? No problem. We're going to have just a piece of the maybe a piece of the logo, just a little piece of the logo in a card cut up, the NHL logo or whatever. Oh, you're a big fan of like logo men type cards. Oh, we'll have the NHL patch card. Like there's so many different ways. They're using the whole cow, baby. I love that.
Yeah,
they're not just using the meat. They're using the whole thing. They're making leather jackets. They're putting rugs down.
Yeah,
jerky. They got the whole
hot
thing.
dogs.
Yeah, well, probably not great. That would be probably what the napkin patch. The couple of napkin patches they have would be the hot dog.
Maybe.
But yeah, I the scrapple, if you will. I think scrapple is a better.
Scrapple's not cow though, so
neither is hot dog, is it?
Well, it can be.
Yeah, it can be.
Oh,
beef hot dogs. Yeah.
Oh, beef hot dogs. Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
yes.
Man, that's a fancy man affording the all beef hot dogs over there.
They are better. They are better.
But yeah, I mean, this is great that they're using the whole jersey. It just makes so much more sense than what Fanatics is doing. And again, I wouldn't be surprised if Fanatics does this in a year, because what I've been saying since Fanatics took over. They are not proactive. They are reactive. So they'll see how popular this is with collectors, and they'll steal this idea, and people will be doing victory laps for Fanatics a year from now saying, oh my God, how amazing are they to think of this? Shut up.
I hope they do, though.
It'll be great content
for
us.
Great for us. Yeah, weeks and weeks. We're talking about for weeks. But I love this. Like I want to start collecting hockey cards. Like I have a couple hockey
photo
cards.
match on the card.
Right, exactly.
I wish more people would talk about this. No one's talking about this.
They clearly Upper Deck cares about the collectors. They think, well, maybe not. They don't care. It's still a big business, but they think about the collectors and collecting when they're making their product, because this is something they're making sure that more than one person can get it. We've talked about this with their non-sports stuff too, that they have a lot of products that you can build sets of, and I think they're not
at
thinking
reasonable prices.
Right. At reasonable prices. Well, when I said that, I meant that, it also included that you can still get boxes for $100 or $200 or whatever, which $200 again is a little pricey for my range, but compared to everything else that's out there, that they're great, and they have cool licenses and stuff too. That they're using we talk about it every week. They're using the jambalayas, or using all these cool things from in their past in all this stuff. And so I think I should probably start collecting some hockey stuff and just get back into hockey, because if you're going to collect sports, you can't afford to collect the other sports now. So why not collect hockey?
Yeah.
Well, you spoke about Upper Deck having cool licenses. They acquired another one. We're not Harry Potter fans here, but this is a big get for Upper Deck to add with DC and Looney Tunes. They have pretty good stable in non-sports. But yeah, Upper Deck acquired the Harry Potter license. They're going to be doing the Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone 25th anniversary set will be the first one, and it's going to be followed by Clear Ultra Harry Potter. So pretty cool. I mean, I never really got into the movies and stuff, but you'd have to be living under a rock to not realize how popular the series is. So it's kind of one of those things that I know the Topps made cards of them, and they're really expensive now.
Art Box actually are the ones that are really autographs from Art Box. Yeah. This is a great IP to pick up, and again, one that I'm kind of surprised that Fanatics doesn't have. Like, this is it, because I think it was maybe the generation right behind us like there were really like stood in line for the books when they were released and then sold out the movies. I think it's the generation behind us, but that generation behind us, guess what? Now they have jobs. Now they have money. We're talking the 25th anniversary. That's a 35-year-old, 40-year-old right now who's like, oh shit, Harry Potter. And they're going out and buying this stuff. So this is, again, Upper Deck being proactive, the opposite of what Fanatics is. The Fanatics will try and get this license in 5 years when maybe Upper Deck is done with it. But like, I love that they're taking these IPs. The only thing I would be concerned about, and I've said this before about like when LeBron went to Fanatics, he went from like never signing things to now he's signing more. When they got the Marvel Studios, I mean, I have this Robert Downey Jr. card. I'm hoping he doesn't sign for any of those Marvel Studios sets, but they're going to be sticker autos most likely. Upper Deck does sticker autos. Don't love that. So when they do autographs, like the ones from, you know, the early 2000s from Art Box will still be extremely valuable. So do not stress out those people who have spent a lot of money on those autos. There are some really, like the triple auto of the three main characters is this holy grail of holy grails if you're a Harry Potter person. But you've got to be excited if you're a Harry Potter fan that they're actually going to be making new cards, and the cards are going to be made by a company that actually does care about collectors, in my opinion.
Yeah, and again, they're going on like the 25th anniversary of it, so there's going to be a lot of hype around there. Good, really great get by Upper Deck on this one, in my opinion. I have a cousin who is, I think, the youngest cousin of my family of my age group, and she like reads the books every year, like rereads all of the books every year. Like that's her thing. She's seen all the movies, so I mean that's
a lot of reading.
So
do they change?
She does a lot of reading. No, but I mean she just loves them so much, the characters and the stories so much that she reads them every year. And so I'm not sure if she would buy cards for it, but she is definitely that target group that you're talking about, Joe, that generation or two up behind us that are just we're obsessed and maybe still are a little bit obsessed with this product. So huge get for Upper Deck. I love it. I'm excited to see. I didn't mention anything in the post that I saw. I didn't mention anything about like autographs or big hits in this first product. But you wouldn't think with Fleur Ultra Wolverine they're going to have some stuff, and I know that there's a lot of those actors have gone on to do other things, and so I think they will be chasing a lot of those actors autographs. So,
but to your point,
cool, so.
To your point about hockey cards, they're going to have Harry Potter jambalayas. They're going to have Harry Potter metal. They're going to use this IP for sure, and they're going to use their old products to really boost it. Like if you were a Harry Potter fan, just kind of like we were talking about, the DC stuff. I'm bummed out that Fleer Ultra Superman doesn't have jambalayas in it because I really want to chase Superman, Green Lantern, Doomsday jambalayas. But you got to think, if you're a Harry Potter fan, how cool would it be to pull a Harry Potter jambalaya? Like, Who would have thought 10 years ago that you would be able to do that? That's such a cool thing for that group of folks who like that IP.
Well, speaking of great IPs, Panini also acquired one. Panini is going to be making unrivaled 3-on-3 women's basketball league cards. I didn't know that was a thing, but apparently the 3-on-3 league, a lot of the WNBA players play in the off season. Okay. So, I mean, I joked a little bit about not knowing anything about it, but yeah, that's a decent, they're going to just do it as Panini Instant. So I don't know. I kind of feel like I see Panini's future now, and I think it's Leaf. Isn't Panini's future now Leaf? They're getting unrivaled 3-on-3 women's basketball league, and they're going to do print to order Panini Instant cards. This is totally like a Leaf pickleball situation, right?
Or
Leaf.
The Mike Tyson card that was print to order, right?
That's a great card, though.
It is a great card. You do, and if that's their future, they'll be okay. The issue
they can do it better than Leaf.
They can do it better with Leaf, and they have those sets they can do it with, right? Like Leaf doesn't really have like, oh, hey, the new whatever Leaf. I think it's the white pearl cards are in a set that's kind of like Leaf's thing, but I can't tell you off the top of my head what that set is. So that tells you something. Panini can do flawless of anything. They can do impeccable of anything and national treasures. The issue with this set, though, like it is a lot of WNBA players, what drives the WNBA card sales. I mean, it's Caitlin Clark. She's not going to be in this set, so I don't think it's going to be as popular.
That's why it's print to order instead.
Yeah, that's why it's print to order, and it's one of those sets that'll help keep the lights on. And then when they do the next WNBA set, I wouldn't be surprised if instead of rookie royalty, it's just flawless WNBA, National Treasures WNBA. Then they have those. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they go. But that's a good point, Mike. The print to order thing very much reminds me of that Leaf Mike Tyson card.
Great points, guys. But I also think this could be like a testing in the waters kind of thing. And then if Caitlin Clark does end up playing in a 3-on-3 league, then all of a sudden you come out with a full on set, right? I mean, that's like, it could be testing the water. I think that could be part of it too, just to see what sort of interest there is out there. I don't know how their WNBA cards sell. I've listened to one of the podcasts I listened to. They actually do a WNBA podcast every week. This guy does like 3 or 4 podcasts a week, and he has somebody come on with him, and they do a full WNBA podcast talking about how excited they are. And they do talk about other collectors. I know it's like probably a pretty small part of the hobby, but I wonder how Panini's sales of their WNBA products are. I mean, maybe they have enough to make this interest in the 3-on-3 league. So.
What I know is Joe and I both bought WNBA Prism Blasters for Dick's Sporting Goods, and we paid $35 a box for those, and now they're selling for $150 a box.
The chain, guys. The chain.
Unfortunately, we opened them. Yeah, I didn't even get a base.
I got good cards out of it. Yeah, Joe didn't, but yeah,
I did not. I should have just kept mine sealed, baby. That's
it has a smaller fan base, but they're buying cards. So and
it's people trying to make money, right? So it doesn't matter how small the fan base is. If how often have we talked about there doesn't really even need to be an end user at this point, which is sad to say, but we've talked about this for a while. There doesn't always have to be an end user. These cards get traded back and forth financially all the time.
Well, speaking of financially, I have financial reports here from DC Sports from eBay in 2025. I love numbers like this, so I alluded to it earlier in the podcast, but DC Sports, they actually put this out on their Twitter, so they're touting their sales. They sold $92,259,577.20 in sales on eBay in 2025, up 64% from 2024. And they sold a total of 3,017,125 items, which was up 51.1%. $92+ million. EP, you need to quit your job and start an eBay consignment business.
That was going to be my first question. Well, not about EP quitting, but what is their percentage? Like, what do they take in? Like, I'm curious out of that $10-ish million, like what they actually.
I'm not sure.
Sorry, 100 million, right? 100 million.
92 million, yeah.
92,259,577.20.
So that's why I got the 10 million. I was thinking of like 10% of that. Do you think is their consignment fee? I'm curious on how that all works.
Sounds yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty nice. That's pretty nice money if you can get it. I've been consigning EP. It's easy. Just find a collector with a lot of really expensive Star Trek cards and consign for them.
They're everywhere.
They're everywhere. No, that's wild. I'm wondering if the jump up. Obviously, part of the jump up is because of just cards, jumping up and people, getting more and more into cards. But like, I wonder if any of it is from Propstein leaving eBay and then having their issues and then coming back. I'm wondering what Propstein's numbers have been up or down just in general since that whole kerfluffle. So I'm curious about that. But I think DC, they might have grabbed the ring, right? We always talked about Propstein being this like, oh, this is the eBay seller. Maybe DC Sports has grabbed the ring in that regard.
I'm guessing they probably have. They are the biggest one that I know of. Joe, can you do the math quick? What would that be per card? 3 million items, 92 million. What is that number?
That's like $30 something, right?
Okay. All right. All right. Thank you. No,
I think it is around $30-some.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little over.
The numbers are there. I mean, they are
My
astronomical.
calculator rounds. It just rounds. It says around this. I don't know. It's a calculator of the people, as it were.
The numbers are astronomical, but also like you guys said, the hobby's just been exploding, and those they sell a lot of those cards in that $5, $10, $20 range, and there's just a lot of cards out there. I think there's a lot of people
our Little Victories uses them every week. He has a DC sports card video.
Right.
Yeah,
I think there are a lot of people in the hobby now who are like the guy we talked about in the Chris Sewall video, who are worried. All they care about are those big hits, like going after the big hits, and so they don't have anything. They don't want anything to do with these $5 to $10 cards. Send them to somebody who can sell them or will sell them. I think that's probably what a lot of that is, and that's probably a really growing part of the market. I would guess.
The thing I really like about this is, though, that's $100 million. So when they bitch to eBay about their authenticity program, it's not like me talking about it every week, though some people apparently don't listen to that. It's not me bitching about it every week that's going to move the needle on this. It's a seller selling $100 million worth of cards bitching to eBay about this. So maybe something will get done. Fingers crossed. But if anyone can do it, it's going to be DC Sports Cards.
We got the number of how many card sales. Didn't we have that number at one point total on eBay? Didn't we have that number in that category at some point? I can't remember what it was, but I wonder what percentage 192 million is of the total amount sold. I'm guessing it's probably up there, pretty high.
Yeah, I think Probstein was like around 90 million for the year when he left. So I mean, still a lot. We need to go there and do like a video showing their system. I would love to see what that looks like. Like watching the people, how they get all this stuff listed. They have
to have a warehouse at this point, right? If they're doing 3 million cards in a year, they have to have a warehouse.
Yeah. Maybe ComC should go and visit their location.
Take some keys from what they're doing here.
Yeah.
Just send Jason over.
Yeah,
Jason's got plenty of time. He's got plenty of time. What's he doing?
Yeah. All right. Well, we're getting close to 2026 Topps baseball time. That usually comes out, I think, around Valentine's Day. So
last year a flagship, right?
Yeah, probably according to Joe Day, the last year flagship. But it's a good year to end it because it's the 75th anniversary for Topps. Not a lot of info out about the card yet. I don't think we've seen the design yet. There isn't any checklist or anything, but they did release the box. So the hobby boxes this year have the 75th anniversary logo on it, and they have Hank Aaron, Ken Griffey Jr., Aaron Judge, and Shohei Ohtani on the box. So assuming they should be leaning into the heritage, no pun intended, of the set line, and maybe have some things that might be interesting to some of us that collected in the 90s in it. So I'm hopeful that this will be a pretty cool set. I hope they do something special, and I hope that we're able to buy it and not have to pay too much money, because I don't open a lot of baseball.
You're so cute, Mike. You're so cute.
Did EP just jump into your body as a spirit when you said that?
I don't even know what I said that was funny.
That it was going to hopefully be affordable? Oh, my God.
Affordable, like not much more than it was last year. That's all I'm hoping for. I guess Joe doesn't think so.
EP, get out of Mike's body. This is ridiculous. Come on, man.
What? Where was I?
No. Oh, Lord. I hope they lean into the 52. Like the design should be an homage to the 52 set, you would think, right?
Well, every year they do an homage to the whatever the like last year was 1990, the year before was 1989. So this year it should be 1991, which in my opinion was not a great design. But I mean, like they'll definitely have a set that commemorates that. But you would hope that they have something for 52. You'd hope they do something really cool with that, like Mike said.
You have to do a 52 set of some kind.
Like I think though, like why do they have to follow that rule? Just have the 52 design.
They don't have to. They don't have to. But like one of the things that they've been known for since they got it is not doing anything creative. So they will just continue to do what they've done and sell it for more money. But
you know what? 52 design parallel. Boom. There
One
it
of
is.
one.
101 for all. Yeah.
Have players wear a
in the set.
75th anniversary patch and put them on a one-of-one
God.
autograph card. That would be
It's-
like so ingenious. What innovation. That would be great.
Now,
I think there's a word for that. It's called bastardization, I think is what it's called. But
I really, really hope, like, again, I know that it makes Joe laugh, but the affordable, relatively speaking, $130 ish, 100, 120 bucks, 130. Was it like 100, 150 this year for basketball? Or was it 120?
Wait, so you think it's going to be lower?
I think it was 135. Basketball I got was 135 flagship. So I think it's going to be like 140, 150 for a box. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the price. If they do that and they have Hank Aaron,
words of Shaq.
If they have Hank Aaron and Griffey autos in there in the flagship product, I mean, then that makes it like there's some cool chases there for, again, their least expensive product.
Weren't we just talking about how we didn't like how they put stuff in it and then raise the price of stuff and make it less affordable for everybody? And now he said,
we were talking about that. He was like,
Hank Aaron in there.
They're going to raise the price to 150 anyway. But if they add something in there that should force them to make the price $200, then that becomes a really cool commemoration of the 75th anniversary.
$150 for a top baseball box is ridiculous. It just
basketball was 135. It's not going to be cheaper than the 135, right?
I'm sure you're right, but like, I feel like they're getting to that point. I was going to say I open Topps baseball every year. I like to get a box, maybe two. I usually do a series 1, series 2, just because the one baseball product I actually buy. I enjoy it just because of the nostalgia. It's Topps baseball, but like 120, 125 was kind of pushing the limits. I don't know if I want to pay 150 for a box. It's not that important to me.
But Mike, you could get a card that you won't get.
I will get a card that I won't get because I always do. I spent $219 on a damn box of jumbo basketball that I got a $5 autograph. 8 is overselling it. I think it's a $5 autograph out of it. Yes, that was my autograph out of a $220 box. And I got shit to go along with it. So if I piece everything together there, if I had $25 worth of value, I would feel lucky. Yeah.
But again, Mike, you
Topps.
Actually, you could get a huge hit that you'll never get. Come on, Mike. You could get that huge hit. Yeah, this is so my hot take was that flagship would go away. My medium take to that was they'll just blow the price out of the water. If you're coming in at $150 a box for flagship baseball, and remember they pay it, and breakers are going to pay it.
They took 2 cards per pack out and 4 packs out of the box last year too. So,
and they're going to do that again, right? Like, if it worked last year, nobody complained about it. Why not do it again?
And which is hilarious because isn't flagship the whole point of flagship is it's a set building product?
Yes.
Like, so it's going to take you more boxes to actually build that set because they're taking cards out of it.
That's the whole point.
You might as well just buy a case at that. If you're going to go put together a set, you might as well just buy a case.
And you like Fanatics EP. It pains me.
I do not. I like Topps.
I
never liked Fanatics.
Say Joe Day, you were right.
I do not like Fanatics.
You were right. Say Joe Day, you were right.
I'm not saying you're right ever again.
Period. Yeah, you never did, but I've been right about this the whole time, EP, and you were such a dick about it.
What?
Like saying how wrong I was.
That's
you
true.
really were kind of a dick about that whole
I don't
thing.
think I was.
He was very smug.
He was very smug.
That's
very
what I do.
Smug.
Yep, I'm Mr. Smug.
No, you were smug about that though. Like, oh, there's no way they'll ever do XYZ. And I'm like, yes, they will. And they have every single time. It is a train wreck over there at Fanatics. It's a train wreck with just a ton of money just oozing out of it. So whatever.
Yep. That's it. Well, I think I'll wrap things up there. That was a pretty good chat this week. I will see you next week, and don't forget to leave your questions for the Q&A in the comments below.
It's the only time EP will ever read your comments.
Only
He'll
time.
hear them. He'll hear them.
Yeah, because we will read them to him, and then
Yes.
he'll hear them.
Can you guys read the comments to me every week? Can you guys read all the comments from the previous week?
Like an audio book?
Yeah, could you do
Yeah.
That sounds like
hilarious.
Patreon content right there. Let us know. You want a Patreon so we can read the comments to EP.
And EP reacts. EP reacts to the comments.
EP reacts. That would be so great. New video series coming up. All right. We'll see you guys.
See you, boys.
Eugene Ponderosa signing off.
Adios.